Takumi, you can't drift, nigga.
Hey guys, and welcome back to GeekAddiction. Today we're going to be looking at the Aoshima Sprinter Trueno, the Project D version from the anime Initial D. So a quick look around the box. I have been waiting for this thing for a very long time. On top of that, this is the first kit in the line. Now one thing to notice is the paint apps and the fact that you will need glue for this kit. Quick run around around the box. Now this comes with quite a bit of detailing, including the engine, tachometer, fog lamps, a special steering wheel, which is the racing wheel, and then bucket seats, and then even a strut tower. And as always, be sure to pause the screen if you want any shots of the box. Now let's go ahead and get this thing open. Hey guys, so this is everything that comes out of the box. You got roughly 17 runners, and 4 rubber tires and 4 springs for the shocks, which is pretty cool. The only thing painted in matte black is going to be the Watanabes, the rims, so I'm looking forward to that. And then of course you got a chrome covered muffler and the brake pads. Also be sure to pause, take a look at the instructions. And this is the completed AE86 with a little bit of internal painting and panel lining. Now I'm going to explain what I did to get here, but bear with me, I sped it up because I talk way too damn much.
Okay, so I'm going to run down what I did with the car. Basically, it was all pretty much black. I had the matte black the chassis, and then I just highlighted it with silver and red across the place. I wanted to keep the car as stock looking as possible, so I made the slightest and most minor details to the body of the car itself, the engine and the interior. So as you can see, just a few highlights of red here and there. It was a pain in the ass to put together, I'll tell you that much. So much of gluing. I did not expect to do that much of gluing because I've never done that much of gluing on a model kit, mainly because I've been working with Gunpla. And this is my first Aoshima kit. It was different. Luckily, I mean, pictures are easy to understand, but they were also, it was also in English. I seem to have fucked up in a couple of places, but I still think it looks pretty good. The detail on this kit is insane. As I said, the detail on this kit is insane. This is one really good looking kit. Painting it was a lot of fun. I tried to limit myself and only highlight certain places. As you can see, it still needs a bit of cleaning. There are a few parts that need to be cleaned properly. And I did forget to fill Takumi's cup with water, unfortunately, and I forgot the extra tachometer. Again, trying to keep it as clean as possible. I still think it's pretty damn good looking. I mean, there's so much detail, especially in the dashboard, and they also include some really nice waterslide decals, which you can use to highlight the kit in almost quite a few places. So you've got the engine, you've got the dashboard, you've got the name of the car, all the logo and branding, and then a couple other small waterslide decals. I do have a few numbers lying around, so I'm going to make my own custom number plate for the back and put the Initial D logo in the front. So apart from that, I think this is one really nice looking kit.
Okay, to reiterate what I said in my ramblings was, this was a pretty tough build. In Gunpla, I never glued as much as I did in this kit, and once you glue, you can't unglue. Here's a good example of where I fucked up. Okay, so here's where I effed up. Basically, you see this part that is in front of the hinge there? It's supposed to be connected across so that both wheels turn at the same time. What I did was I super glued it, which didn't help with that, so it kinda snapped. And still, all in all, I do like this kit. I mean, it looks superb. All the hard work and pain I went through to put this thing together is resulting in the way it looks. All the highlighting and paint details I put in on the main chassis is superb, and then of course a little bit of chrome there on the brake pads, which I highlighted with red. I'll show you that now. So the only parts that came in chrome were the brake pads, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and then of course the muffler and the muffler tip, if I'm not mistaken. Everything else was in normal flat paint or normal flat color. And now for my favorite part of the kit, let's get this hood off. And my favorite part of this kit has got to be the engine. I love putting this thing together, painting it, gluing everything together. It was so much fun. I love putting this thing together. I can't. Okay, so moving on, there's reflective pieces of plastic for the side view mirrors, real rubber tires, Watanabe wheels are banging, and a couple of nice water decals for the branding. By the way, I fucked up and lost one. Chrome muffler, and then the wheels are actually, or the tires are actually rubber, and that's the original color of the plastic prior to me painting. You can either count that as me effing up or leaving a sample for you guys. And there's pretty decent amount of panel lining, nothing too much. And yet another place I kind of made a mistake is with the flip-up headlamps. As you can see, my right one is very loose and slightly off. And that was because when I glued it in, it fell over and I forgot to set it in place properly. But yeah, I added Takumi's cup in there as well for his drift training. And little bits of silver here and there. And there's still a little bit more work that needs to be done, which I will do and put together. So additional side note, this car does come with 4 shocks. So there are 4 springs, 2 for the rear and 2 for the front, which gives it some decent suspension. So a small mistake on my part that I made with the hood is there's a bit of wear, as you can see there, on that hinge, and that's primarily because I top coated it and then forgot to sand down the edges, and that caused a little bit of weakening in the plastic hinge when I was lifting the hood up and down. Just a warning for you guys to always fit test all your parts before you put them in. Alright guys, so my final verdict on this thing is, I don't know. As a model kit, this thing was a lot of fun to build. I can't actually compare it to anything else other than model kits because I haven't actually done cars before. This being my first one was surprisingly a lot of fun. It was a little bit difficult in terms of putting it together and gluing and all the other stuff, but it was still a lot of fun. And the fact that it came with so many pieces to include the engine and the detail of the interior and all the extra options, the fact that you can build 2 versions of the engine is pretty cool. Not a lot of these kits come with the engine. In this case, luckily this one did, and specifically I bought it specifically because of the engine. There are other ones like curbside kits, which are basically just the body and the interior without the engine. So I don't know if I might be interested in one of those, but I'm definitely going to do this again. In either case, good detail, really nice sculpt, kit is a lot of fun. I'm going to learn from my mistakes with the next one. And plus it's initial D. I mean, a lot of nostalgia with this car. But yeah, so all in all, I like this kit. It's very decent. It's decent for the price. It's a solid amount of work that you have to put into it to make it look good, but I liked it. So that's about it from my end, guys. Thanks for watching, and as always, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more. And stay tuned. I've got a lot more stuff coming up. Thanks. Have a good one.